Alright, we got the Lizard Squad over here versus the Kislevites and their northern polar bears. Dronzy versus Daceberg. Alright, folks. This was on our new player tournament, and I'm very, very happy to show this game. This game, I wasn't sure who was going to win, and I'm sure none of you are going to be sure who's going to win, because this is a back and forth, beat down, slap around. We got two little Groms, we got Kossars, we got Druzhina, Druzhina, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never seen this character. Usually go for Ice Witch on, what is it, on the Frost Worm. So, yeah. Here we don't have Frost Worm. Which is a bit odd. I think you really want to make use of the open terrain, somewhat open. It's got some hills, got some trees, and the two little Groms, which isn't a bad call. It lets them have basically the right, left side of the map, depending on how you want to call it. Basically, point 1 and 2. Point 3, though, goes to Dronzy right here, and just summons an absolute metric ton of skinks. And normally, you'd be like, alright, he's got two little Groms, he's got no great targets, but they still can do some work. And with Dronzy there, Dronzy can replenish the ammunition if you didn't see the ability there. 4 times. And then here comes the Patriarch. But the rat lad here, Dronzy knows what he's doing. Dronzy, however you want to pronounce his name. The Lizardmen player is going for the numbers game, not giving the little Groms any real good targets. And having a bunch of skirmishers to come jump on points isn't too bad. The problem is, he left himself a bit open. He's about to get rear charged by these, excuse me, by these, nasty little, those dervishes? Look like dervishes. Yeah, the skink absolutely get run over. They don't have a glorious charge, I don't think. Yeah, they don't have a glorious charge, my goodness. Still a pain in the butt. Now here comes some good targets for those little Groms. And they are still doing some good damage, even with all the trees being in the way. Little Groms are still somehow landing shots in the woods. Pulling spear riders to come shoo away some of those dervishes. Even with that, there's still, I don't know. I think the damage here is already done. I think Dronzy, I don't know if the D's silent. Our Rat Clan player here is giving up on that point, and he should. I mean, it's still, I don't know. But I think he's actually fine, because you can see there's a bit of hill in between the two low Groms and the Cold Spear Riders. Now, though, not so much. But, yeah, he's going for the surround. And this is usually what you want to do if you realize, your opponent's playing a very defensive position, because this game is pretty much designed for offensive play. The reason being is they want it to be a bit more interactive, but yeah, there's some hot takes on that. But yeah, good Hawk submission right there, getting a lot of those skinks before they even engage in combat. Those are red-crested skinks. And if he gets a pickup on the Patriarch, that's absolutely amazing. I think the Patriarch's like, what, 1,000 gold? With all the stuff, the standard stuff. Mounts and everything. Nice little chain lightning. Oh, so his skink priest is, okay. He's got a chain lightning skink priest, okay. Or lightcaster, not lightcaster, heavens caster. Yeah, I don't know about heavens. But it makes sense, right? Little Grom's doing nasty damage to Krokgar. But yeah, heavens caster makes sense because the Ursane thunderbolts. Yeah, the thunderbolts there can absolutely destroy those little Groms. Really, they're designed to destroy artillery, but the fact that he's not using them for that kind of makes me wonder what he's bringing them for, because you'd rather bring Comet. Because it takes just as much time, I believe, besides the fact that Comet takes longer due to the animation, whereas Thunderbolt's just, bam, right there. Nice little slug down right there, and yeah, when your opponent's playing defense, just get more numbers, surround them, and then beat them down if you can. Sure, you'll take a little bit of damage, you might even lose a unit or two, but they're about to lose their whole position. And you gotta make sure it works. If it don't, you're pretty much screwed. And yeah, the numbers are starting to catch up. 18 to 16. 16 for the Kislevites. Good Hawk submission. That is such a good spell. For how much it costs, man. It's almost like Burning Head. like levels of damage, and they're not even the same tier. I think Hawks and Michigan's are like super, or like tier 1 shots. Krokkar getting absolutely karate chopped, sent to the Shadow Realm, destroyed, dunked on by these little Groms. And that's a bit of a misplay there. I think he was, Zoni here, our Lizardmen player, was thinking, okay, I know there's going to be a Frostworm, so I might as well prepare. And no, gets absolutely traded in by 2 little Groms. Well done by Daceberg for playing the, Uno reverse card there. But yeah, excuse me. Although he is up in value, most of his value is in the Lord in Krokkar. And once Krokkar's gone, there's really no targets for these little Groms. And you also gotta be careful with Little Fire once your units are engaged, so... Krokkar, go home! He's using Winged Lancers. I would prefer Dervishes instead, because those Lancers could be used elsewhere right now. And they kinda are needed. Yeah, these Coldwind Spear Riders are absolutely gonna dominate the field. Ooh! Skincaster doing his thing, along with that Ancient Salamander put shots in. But honestly, the Ancient Salamander maybe could put some shots into the caster, into the Lord. Finish off the Patriarch. Yeah, I think finishing off the Patriarch's actually going to be the call. Sorry, folks. Yeah, if you notice the coughing, the sniveling, the hard ability to hear me because I can't breathe, I have allergies, so you're going to hear that, and I apologize. Oh man, I'm dying. Oh man, this game's getting me killed. Nurgle has afflicted me. But yeah, back to the game. Hopefully I can get through this. Yeah, good little chain lightning there. Absolutely destroys the warrior there. But is it worth the Winds of Magic? I don't know. I don't think so. Although the Source Warriors probably could have just beat those Kislevite warriors, no problem. Ancient Salamander's trying to get in there. If anything, I like the Ancient Salamander to get on the point and start shooting. But then again, you gotta be careful with those 2 little Groms. Those little Groms make it really hard. Coldwind Spear Riders getting absolutely bowling balled by those little Groms too. But yeah, if you just swarm them with just red-crested skinks, I think you're just gonna have an easy time dealing with them. Yeah, the Source Warriors are getting absolutely crunked. Oh, was that a friendly fire shot? I think that's what happened. I was like, there's no way the charge did that much damage to the Frostmaiden. No, that was absolutely 2 little Groms putting 2 cannonballs into the Frostmaiden. And there it goes again! Yeah, see, this is what I mean. You gotta be careful with your little Groms. The friendly fire there, that hurt. That really hurt. Not only that, he hawks and Mishka's his own units, so... Yeah, not the best showing for Daceberg right there. You gotta be careful and aware. Which is really annoying. It kind of shows how janky the shooting is in this game. Yeah, I remember talking to a couple of the higher level players too. Boss Toss and Tizzity Allin, when we have our little streams on our talks, and yeah, the fact that shooting is the way it is, especially direct line of sight, and the logic behind like friendly fire shooting is so obnoxious. Warbait Riders finally showing up. Excuse me. I don't know if that's the call. Warbait Riders... Yeah, I don't know. They definitely trade down. There's a lot of sources, a lot of units, Ancient Salamanders. I think I would have preferred like just a injection of nothing but infantry, just to swarm points and hold. Because right now, Zoni here, the Lizardmen player, has got him triple capped. Honestly, these little Groms aren't really doing all that much besides friendly fire, so if I were Daceberg, I'd just on some of these things right now. Because they just don't cut it. They just don't have the oomph, the firepower to just put anything down quick enough. Honestly, a Frostworm would be way better right now. You have terror causing. It'd be great against large units. Sword Spear is absolutely crumping the Kislevite, yeah, the Dervishes. Sorry, it's just so hard right now. My allergies really are messing me up. I apologize, people. Oh, I got the sniffle so bad. Wing Lancers on the side, trying to take points. Those are those the ones that were shoving Krokkar off the map, and they're finally back into the game? Jeez. Talk about late. Is that lightning? Yeah, grease lightning. Oh, man. Daceberg. Come on, man. Daceberg's not a bad player at all. For a new player, he's actually pretty impressive. Scary, almost. He makes the Kislevites really miss the homeland, though. Here comes some Kroxigor. I'd love to see them. Probably one of my top units over on the Lizardmen roster. And all the dinosaurs. Ooh, and there they go. Zoni just pushing everything on, and just like all he's got really left are little Groms, and they're really not doing all that great. I mean, they're shooting up some cav units that are still gonna get into him, which kind of sucks. And yeah, if only he had like a bunch of Frostworm to just, you know, chew away all these very low leadership units. One Frostworm or two wouldn't be too bad. That's the name of the game right now, just single entities that tear out everything. It used to be infantry spam until a lot of the stuff got changed. And by stuff I mean charge animations and how model reworks. And now infantry spam isn't as great. You can still do it in certain factions, into certain matchups, but yeah. And Kislev really rely on their death ball spam of monsters, which is really obnoxious. A lot of factions can't deal with it. They still can't. Like Greenskins, for example, they hate that shit. I hate dealing with that shit. But you gotta deal with it somehow. And yeah. And you can see why it's a standard. Oh man, Andy's sending in the low Groms to And I understand why he's doing it. They're at least charging. They're good into, I guess, infantry. And they have capture weight. Which is why Daceberg's flipping this objective right now. But for how long? I guess he can turn them and then start shooting downtown into the second objective. He's not on a triple cap. Not yet, right? It's like 600, so that's 300. No, he is on a triple cap. So he needs to get another point. He needs to get the middle, which is kind of hard to do. Especially when the Lizardmen can just spam out skinks. Yeah, see? Oh, sorry for... Oh, man. Sorry for this, folks. Armor Cossors are just gonna get shut in by skinks. They're just gonna get shut down. They'll win the fight, but they'll lose by the time... they'll lose on points by the time they win their fight. That's the problem. But a good showing here, though. Oh, man. Maybe he still has some Winged Lancers in the rear? Yes, he does. Do Winged Lancers beat good old Cold One Riders? Probably, right? Horn Riders kind of suck. To be honest. They do trade upwards, but they still kind of suck. But it's a good trade if they can get it for Winged Lancers and the Griffin Legion if he brings any. Oh, that was a nasty shot into the skinks. Nasty, nasty shot. Yeah, I have to say though, oh yeah, it's gonna be Daceberg's loss here. Zoni's about to win this for sure. Oh, but those are nasty shots though. He could maybe take the middle, but he still loses the side point. Things like Kroxigor and skinks. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, there's 5 units over there. He's barely gonna get over there. Yeah, this is over. GG's to both players. GG's. Yeah, the build from Daceberg was sound, but just doesn't work here because of just the sheer amount of units that the Lizardmen can just poop out, and it doesn't really give the Groms good targets, especially with the hill, the way they were positioned too, with the hills being in the way and the trees. Although he did get Kroxigor really didn't play any role here. It was just the amount of spam. Yeah, I definitely would have think Frostworm would be in the cards next time. Next time, Daceberg. You'll get him next time. Alright, folks. If you liked the video, please like, sub, follow me here on YouTube. We're on the road to 2,000. Come join me when we have our tournaments over on Total Tavern, whether it's new, old, or in between. Alright. And hopefully I feel better by the time that happens. Alright, with all that said, y'all have a good one. Peace, and goodbye for now.